All right, let's go. NBA 2K26, my NBA news is here, and I know I'm a little bit late on this. This came out a few days ago, but I was away and I haven't had a chance to break it down, something I do with you guys every year. So let's react to the NBA 2K26, my NBA, my GM courtside report. All right, so here we are. This article I will link in the description below. NBA 2K26 is available to be played, I believe, Thursday at midnight going into Friday, and you know the thing you could do where you could change your time zone. So this article is just basically talking about these two game modes that have it in my team and my career as well. It headlines with my NBA and my GM return in NBA 2K26 with 30 unique storylines, all new dynamic banners. Yes, dynamic banners is a headline, and improved and adjustable simulations, online NBA playoffs, and much more. So this will be next gen again on PS5, Xbox Series X, and PC, as well as the new Nintendo Switch too. Just thankfully, like 2K25, I loved on PC. Gonna be playing this one on PC as well. I recommend it if you can, just because of how fast the simulations can go at times, especially if you're doing longer rebuilds. So the first thing won't really affect me too much because I'm not the biggest online guy. I used to be back in the day playing with friends, but not too much anymore. So they're basically implementing online playoffs. Now, I'm not too sure if this feature was much of a thing in the past, but online playoffs will feature the signature presentation of NBA playoffs. Every aspect of the game will get the full playoff treatment, players, arenas, commentators, you name it. So yeah, if you're playing online, this could be big for you. Now, like I said, I can't really attest to online in the past. Did they not just have this playoff picture? Is that a big addition being added? I don't really know how I feel about that. So you guys that play online my NBA, you can let me know how you feel about that down below. So this is a little bit more my bread and butter. Improved and adjustable simulations. This is definitely intriguing in my opinion. So we'll go and break this down. The community has been vocal about wanting smarter, more efficient simulations. We heard you. Obviously, in the past and currently, guys in free agency ask for way too much money. Not sure if this is going to be a thing. Here this year, we have fine-tuned simulation performance under the hood to yield more strategic decisions that run 8% faster on average and up to 26% faster in NBA 2K26 compared to 2K25. Players will now have the freedom to adjust simulations by toggling between three options: normal, smarter, and faster. Smarter sims will utilize more advanced trade logic that can consider over 5,000 potential trade assets and variables per trade, such as trade protections and pick swaps, okay, to best mirror front office strategies in real life, but will conduct the sim at a slower rate in order to do so. Okay, so I guess you're sacrificing sim speed for smarter strategic simulations with the CPU. I think that's a fair trade-off. Faster sims will progress through seasons more quickly while still making tactical decisions. The core rules behind the salary cap trades and free agency will be respected, but they may not consider every possible outcome, pick protection, or swaps. Okay, so that has been a thing where you've been able to adjust kind of those sliders in the past on 2K when you're just kind of in the settings itself, but you really have to tweak them, and I don't think we found really the perfect solution. So maybe 2K is going to have that this year with these smarter sims. I'm definitely intrigued to try this out. I'm just a little bit scared. What if you're sacrificing sim speed for something that doesn't even work and you're still completely fleecing people, or the CPU is making dumb trade after dumb trade? I think we may have, I don't know, some trial and error with that. I don't know if that's going to be fixed in potential updates. Is that something they're going to monitor throughout the 2K26 cycle? Because I've seen some bad trades be made in the past. You always see sometimes these same guys getting moved. I mean, the Sacramento Kings can trade DeMar DeRozan and Zach LaVine to OKC for a top 3 pick on the night of the 2026 draft, and you're like, why would OKC do that trade? So is that something that's going to be considered here? Are we going to finally have pick protections be realistic, where not every lottery protected pick becomes unprotected the year later, especially picks that are currently going on in real life? Like the Portland Trailblazers own a lottery protected pick to Chicago, but that becomes seconds. That is never going to be a lottery pick in Chicago's hands, but in 2K, that becomes unprotected in 2026. So that is something I'd like to see be fixed or added, where I can make a pick top 5 protected, then it becomes top 3, maybe then unprotected, or it's top 5 protected for 4 years, then it turns into a couple seconds. Can we get that added? That would be really cool. So we're also getting my player DNA added as well. They're basically adding, yeah, your my player and all that DNA and all the attributes and everything you have created over there into my NBA. So if you're a big my player and my career guy and a my NBA guy, this is really cool as well. Implement your guy in the NBA draft, and you don't have to do too much work in the create a player option. So yeah, you can use your My Career save file, and you could faithfully clone your My Player's appearance, animations, etc. into My NBA. I feel like that's also a niche audience, but hey, that is something at least new they're adding into the game. Surprised that hasn't really been a thing in the past, given that like player DNA has been around for a while now and they haven't really tweaked that. So we also have dynamic banners. Yeah, this is something that's been kind of leaked and then headlined in the past. So basically, when you win a title in 2027, which is not a real year in real life, obviously, and it will be in 2K, your banner will be raised up top. So like OKC could have a 2025 banner in their arena, and then if you win in 2026, you'll have that virtual banner up there as well. I think it's a cool ad. I hate that it's a headliner. I think you'd get a lot more respect if you didn't say anything about this and people kind of noticed it when the game came out, and you'd be like, all right, this is a really cool addition. But the fact that this is like in the courtside report, I mean, hey, it probably takes time to implement this, and hey, they mentioned that this is something the Visual Concepts team has wanted to incorporate for a long time, and they're proud to deliver it. And hey, I know there's a lot of work that goes into this. I just don't know if this is going to really be a collective, like, woohoo, yeah, we're getting dynamic banners. I don't think anybody has asked for this. I don't think I've ever seen somebody ask for this. I think it's a cool feature. I think it's cool, and it makes your team and your franchise that you're investing a lot of time into feel more real, but it's just like, I don't know. I feel like this isn't something that should be headlining a courtside report that has like 8 things in it and maybe less than that. So we're also getting my WNBA expansion. I haven't done too many WNBA rebuilds, but if you're into that as well, you're going to have expansion here, which is really cool. Surprised that wasn't a thing in 2K25. But yeah, since they're like, we recently got the Golden State Valkyries, Philadelphia is getting an expansion WNBA team. That league is growing. They're going to have the option to add those teams into my WNBA as well. So my NBA directives before a new season. So this is going to be cool, right? This is be at least a little bit of like a GM to my NBA overlap. If you play Madden franchise, you know, at the beginning of your seasons, it asks you like, what is your season goal? Is it to make the playoffs? Is it to win 7 games? Something like that. We're going to have something similar here. This is going to be the bread and butter. This is probably the thing I'm most excited about in 2K26. So before a new season, you'll sit down with the team governor to assess your goals and budget for the year. I think that's really cool. Hey, we're never going to have like real governors like owners, but I think that makes it feel a little bit more involved, and you're not getting the full-on cutscene experience of my GM, but you're still getting some of that like direct contact and making it feel like it's an overall bigger thing going on. And during this conversation, the team governor will assign you primary and secondary directives to influence your strategy for the season. It's imperative that you meet these directives to keep your job as a general manager. So I wonder if this is going to be something you could do. You could turn on, you could turn off. I'm sure it will, because like, what if you're doing like a challenge or you're doing something different, right? Like that's going to be kind of annoying if you're trying to do like a go 0-82 and then an 82-0 challenge, and you're going to get fired after the 0-82 season. So team governors vary from team to team. Some are driven by championships at any cost, while others are focused on the balance sheet and want to ensure the arena is filled and profitability continues. Shout out the Chicago Bulls. Combined with team-specific offseason scenarios, your experience will change based on the team you've selected, keeping challenges fluid and stimulating. At the end of the season, the governor will review directives and goals for the year and evaluate whether you met those expectations. If you do, you will be rewarded with a bigger budget that can be used during the offseason to target premier players or renovate your facilities. So I'm intrigued because, like, hey, what's that mean for targeting premier players? Can you use like some type of boost to like intrigue somebody to sign with you, because everybody has the same budget or the same cap space, so that shouldn't affect that too much, but maybe that's going to be a thing going on here. And then I also like play a lot of out of the park baseball, so I'm going to use that comparison as well, where sometimes the owner goals are a little bit wonky. Like, what if my owner is like, I want you to get an upgrade at a point guard spot, but I have like a top 10 pick that like had a solid season that I want to develop, and then you're going to get fired because you didn't add a point guard in the off season, but I wanted to keep developing the point guard that I drafted, right? Like, hopefully it's not weird like that and they're not like super direct, but we'll see how that goes moving forward, and we'll see how much like the facilitators, or excuse me, the facilities will be in my NBA compared to like my GM. And then we also have team finances and facilities. So managing the team ledger is a necessary part of running a successful franchise. Team finances have been tweaked to be more reflective of each my NBA era, with accurate team revenue and budgets, luxury tax mechanics. That is intriguing. Year-to-year salary cap increases and more throughout history. So I haven't seen the word apron yet. I was hoping the aprons would be implemented in 2K26 because they're a big thing in real life, right? So maintaining a quality product in the NBA is challenging. Make it easier on yourself by keeping your facilities up to date to increase player interest in your organization. Upgrade your facilities with facility points earned by winning championships, which can go towards updating team training, recovery, arena, and more. I feel like that's a big MyGM thing already. And then you have team training facilities. Your players will have improved strength, hustle, potential. Upgraded team facilities can also influence player interest in negotiation. Okay. Then you have recovery. So this could have a big impact if you're playing with injuries on. Could also give you a boost in contract negotiations. And then luxury box amenities, go an extra mile and raise the value of your luxury boxes. That's pretty much seats in your arena, another big MyGM thing. Fan events that can boost fan engagement, arena renovations, and stuff like that. So yeah, this has been kind of a thing in MyGM. Not sure if this was supposed to actually be a MyGM thing, and it just says MyNBA, because they use a photo of MyGM as well, which would be kind of hilarious if that is the case. And then MyGM here, it's making its long-awaited return in 2K25. It's back bigger than ever. Immerse yourself in the role of the general manager. Was MyGM not in 2K25? I mean, I was never really playing it. I was always playing MyNBA, so that is kind of interesting. I thought it was, but I guess I'm completely wrong there. And yeah, they're going to have more scenarios in MyGM. Your journey begins amid the 25 offseason, following the conclusion of the lottery in the finals. I mean, that's interesting. Like, what if you don't want to do that? What if you wanted to just have like Cooper Flag on the Mavericks, stuff like that? Chicago Bulls, like this could be a thing where they want to embrace a full rebuild. Yeah, okay, something they haven't done yet. Build for the Warriors' future, commit another finals run with Steph. And Dallas makes Cooper Flag the face of the franchise. There's MyGM building, your home base for all team activities here. And they're going to have them kind of go more into the responsibilities of the GM, your legacy menu. So kind of tracking the past, unlocking clothing for your GM. Just another thing that I don't think really needs to be in a courtside report. And then there's unranked MyGM as well. So yeah, we'll see how much else is added here. I know a lot of things that I wanted to see were more intuitive with like the current NBA, just CBA. I wanted to see more of the buyout market. And yeah, you could release players and they're technically hitting the buyout market, but I wish that was more of a thing. I wish in MyNBA there could be a player that's, hey, 36 years old, that's on a bad team and is on an expiring contract, and that could hint to the owner or that governor or the GM, release me, right? I wanted to get released, and it's a specific week where there's a free agency period in the offseason. There should be a buyout period right after the trade deadline, just for like a week that guys can hit the open market. I think that would have been really interesting if they added that. I would have loved the aprons, which you could turn on or turn off, where you can basically implement the current NBA hard cap with the current CBA. Just another fun challenge here, and your picks can get frozen later on if you're not under the aprons, or at least the second apron, and you're a repeat offender. I thought that would have been a really cool addition as well. I always thought just players requesting trades. What if you have somebody that is a franchise superstar, but you haven't made it to the playoffs in 3 years? Hey, he requests a trade, and maybe even will sit out. He'll go full like Rockets James Harden on you, and he's going to try to gain as much weight as possible until you trade him. I think that would have been a cool addition as well. And there's so many other things that I hope are added. I hope this isn't all it. But like I said, I feel like maybe every year we always want so much, but you never really know, right? Like none of us really know how hard it is to code a video game and how much to really go into it. They can only do so much because they're also going to prioritize my team. It's the biggest moneymaker in my career, a big staple as well. And then obviously there's the WNBA factor over the last few years being implemented also. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I know I'm a little bit late on this. You may have read this already, but I just wanted to give my thoughts and opinions. I was in Spain for pretty much the last week, so I didn't really have a chance to make a full video breakdown. I'm hoping to get my first video for 2K26 out for you guys on Thursday night, so make sure you are subscribed over here on the channel, and I'll catch you guys there. Let me know what you think about this down below as well. Catch you guys in the next one. Peace.